In this video we are going to discuss about few tricky problems related to the center of mass. The first one is n-1 equal point masses, each of mass small m, are placed at the vertices of a regular n polygon. That means we have got a polygon of n number of sides. The vacant vertex of which all the vertices have been n-1, that means if there are 6 sides, that means 6 vertices, out of which 5 vertices are filled with a point mass small m and 1 vertex has been left vacant. The vacant vertex has a position vector a. Now suppose this is the vacant, so this has the position vector a with respect to the center of the polygon. This is the center of the polygon. The position vector of the center of mass. They have asked us to find out the position vector of the center of mass. Now we know if this is not left vacant, then the center of mass will lie at the center. That means 0, 0. So from the formula for center of mass, that means if you can write the center of mass of whole system, center of mass of the whole system, center of mass of the whole system lies at the center of n polygon. Now from that formula, that is RCM, we can write, if this was not vacant, that means there were n number of masses, so nm into 0, the position vector of the n polygon, if all the vertices were filled with mass small m, that is nm into 0 minus 1 place is left vacant, so we subtract that part. ma is the position vector of that vacant vertex, and below we can write nm minus m. That means we are doing a problem in the type which we had done earlier. We take a disk and cut a part out, that problem, and this problem is similar. First we have to take that all the vertices are filled up with mass m and then replace or discard one vertex, so we are subtracting that part. From this we can get minus ma by, if you take m common from here, n-1, so gets cancelled, minus a by n-1. So the first option is correct. Option number A is correct. Now problem number 2. A thin uniform rod AB of length L has a linear mass density mu x is equal to a plus bx by L, where x is measured from A. If the center of mass of the rod lies at a distance of 7 by 12 L from A, then A and B are related as. Now this is a easy problem. We take the rod AB, this is point A, point B. So if we take the axis here, or rather the y-axis here, and the x-axis along the rod, mass per unit length, that is linear mass density, is a plus bx by L. So straightforward we move into the formula of center of mass, because they have given the center of mass of the rod lies at a distance of 7 by 12 L. So the formula for center of mass we know, that is dmx summation of dm. Now this is from length 0, initial point 0, to length L. So both the integrations will have a lower limit of 0 and upper limit of L. Replace the values of dm. That means dm means it is a small part dm. So how to find dm? That is mu x into dx. This length is dx. So mu x into dx into x by summation of again mu x dx 0 to L, 0 to L. If we replace the value of if we replace the value of mu x in the equation, that means a plus bx by L dx multiplied by x, and also a plus bx by L dx, 0 to L integration. Now the center of mass has been given in the problem as it lies at a distance of 7 by 12 L from A. That means from A, the center of mass lies at a distance of 7 by 12 from L. So here this center of mass relation will have a left hand side of 7 by 12 L. Now if we can solve this integration, the result will come out like this: ax square by 2 plus bx cube by x square, that means 3L, 0 to L. And below we can get a dx, that means ax, I suppose, plus bx square by 2L, 0 to L. Okay, now solving this, if we replace the value of L, replace the value of L, 7 by 12 L. After solving this, what do we get? A L square by 2 plus b L cube by 3L, and a L plus b L square by 2L. If you replace 0, both sides will be 0. Now after calculating this part, we eliminate L here, so L square. So 3L square, LCM is 6, here LCM is 2, and taking L square by 6 common from the numerator part and L by 2 common from the denominator part, we multiply L by 2 onto the left hand side and start eliminating. So we get 7 by 4 is equal to 3a plus 2b by 2a plus b. Now cross multiplying, we get 14a plus 7b is equal to 12a plus 8b, which leads to the relation of 2a is equal to b. Now 2a is equal to b is I think 2a is equal to b. Option number B is correct. So option number B is correct. Now a third problem. This is the initial diagram, this is the final diagram. As you can see, this block has moved from this position to this position. So the problem goes as the small prism of mass small m slides down on the bigger prism of mass 5m from position shown on the top of the bigger prism to the position at the bottom of the bigger prism. Now the question that have been asked, that is, by what distance does the combination move to the left? Combination means combination of 5m and m move to the left if the bigger prism initially rests on the frictionless floor. Now this bigger prism is on a frictionless floor. This has no friction between the bigger block and the floor. There is no friction between the bigger block and the floor. Now we can do this problem by a very shortcut method, that is I've already taught you. There is a shift of the center of mass. The theory, or if I can solve the problem by shift of center of mass. Now let us take the shift. We can draw a single diagram by combining the two diagrams. Suppose this is this combination diagram. This is 5L, 5L, 5M. Now the initial position of the smaller prism L of side L and mass M was this one. Now if this block slides down, there will be a force acting on this block and the block will shift in the leftward direction. Which block? 5M. Now if this block shifts by distance x1, suppose, so now the new position of the 5M block is like this. So this prism has slided down from here and has reached this position. Now suppose this is the smaller block. Now I have to take the two shifts into consideration. There are two blocks, so two shifts. One is a shift of the 5m, that is 5m. We can write it as minus x1, because if we take this point as 0, 0, we can take any point as the origin. So this is 0, 0 is the origin. So the shift of this bigger block towards the left is x1, towards the negative x-axis. So we have taken that to be minus x1, plus shift of this smaller prism. Now the shift of the smaller prism will require a little bit of geometry. That means this was the initial position, this is the final position. So if this is 0, 0, this position was, suppose it was 5L, so 5L, 0. Now the new position, if this shifts by distance x1, this is the shift also, we can mark it as x1. So the initial position of this was, if we take this point, so this point was, suppose this is length of L, so L, 0, and this has a shift of 5L minus x1. This point here we can write as 5L minus x1. So the coordinate of this point was L, 0 here, and now the coordinate of this point is 5L minus x1. So the shift of that point will be, initially it was L and now it is 5L minus x1. Now a little bit of mistake has been done. It will be 5L minus x1 minus L. This is the initial position, this is the final position. So the shift is subtraction of the final position from the initial position. So this gives, this will give you 4L minus x1. So here m into 4L minus x1, resultant shift always becomes 0. Shift of the center of mass in this case will be 0. Now solving this equation, we can get x1 as, we can eliminate m, 5x1 plus 4L minus x1 is equal to 0. So minus 6,1 is equal to minus 4L. So x1 is equal to 4L by 6. So 2L by 3. So the option was C. Now another problem, the fourth problem. Two identical blocks are connected by massless string which passes over a light smooth pulley as shown. These are the two blocks of mass m, inclined plane of inclination of 30 degree. If there is no friction between the block and the incline, between the blocks and the incline, this one, then find the acceleration of the center of mass. Now we will use a shortcut method. No tension method here. So first we try to find the acceleration of the blocks. Acceleration of blocks. Now the force acting on this block is mg sine 30 degree, that means mg by 2, and here it will be mg. So mg is larger than mg by 2. So for acceleration we write mg minus of mg sine 30 by m plus m, which gives mg minus mg by 2, that means mg by 2 by 2m, that means g by 4, I suppose, g by 4 meter per second square. Now we have to find out which one, the acceleration of the center of mass. Now the acceleration of center of mass, now this acceleration we can write it as a. The acceleration on m is downwards and the acceleration on this block is up the incline, so a direction of like this. So the angle between the two accelerations is equal to 120 degree. This is 60, so the angle in this direction will be 120. So acceleration of the center of mass means F net net force acting on the two blocks by 2m. Now what is the net force acting? We know that m is common for both. We can write here a square plus 2a into a cos of 120. We are trying to find the resultant of the two accelerations a and a by the vectorial method. By 2m, so mm gets cancelled, and from this 2a square, if 2a square is common from both, that means 1 minus cos 120. Cos 120 is half, so 1 minus half means half. So a square, it comes out to be ma by 2. Now, m gets cancelled. So it's a by 2. Now what was a? A was g by 4. G by 4 by 2. That means it becomes g by 8. So the acceleration of the center of mass is g by 8. Now fifth problem. This is AB is a L-shaped obstacle fixed on a horizontal smooth table. A ball strikes, this is a ball which strikes the portion here at A and gets deflected and restrikes it at B. Now if the velocity vector before collision was V and the center and the coefficient of restitution is E for both collisions, then the velocity of the ball after its second collision. They have asked us to find, the question is velocity of the ball after second collision. The options given here are E square V, option B is minus E square V, option C is minus EV, and D is none. Now this is a very important problem, because to solve this we have to break the problem into x and y components. Now if this is x direction, if we take the x direction to be like this along this line and y direction to be like this, so when at the first instance, when the ball strikes the L-shaped part at A, we can break this velocity into two components. One is along the x-axis and one is along the y-axis. Suppose if the balls, if we can break this into two components, we can write it like this. The ball is coming and hitting it in this fashion. So one will be along this direction, this is the x direction. So if the ball is moving in this fashion, this velocity will be somewhat like minus Vx. One component is in this direction and another component will be along this direction. So this component will be minus Vy, because we have taken the y in the positive y in the opposite direction. So this will be along the negative y axis, so it will be minus Vy. So this will be minus Vx in this fashion. It is moving in the negative x direction. This velocity has been broken up into two components. One is along x and along is y. Vx is acting along the negative x and Vy along the negative y. So we have taken it to be minus Vx and minus Vy. Now when the ball hits this portion, this is point A, this portion, it is moving, no, one part has been left out, minus Vx, and the return velocity will be Evx along the positive x. When the ball hits this plate, the second instance, the rebound velocity will be Evy. This is minus Vy hitting this plate, this rod, and rebounding with a speed of Evx. So we can write V as the original velocity vector as minus Vxi minus Vyj. So we can take minus common from here, Vxi plus Vyj. After collision, it moves along in the positive x direction as Evx, and minus Vy component strikes the side B and becomes plus Evy after collision. So V will be equal to Evx. So the return velocity should be taken as V dash. So E into Vx I and E into Vyj. So this will be Vyj. So we can write it as minus EV, replacing the value of Vxi plus Vyj from the first equation, that is minus V, into the second equation. We get V dash is equal to minus E into V. So this is the value for the velocity or recoil velocity, minus EV. This one.